Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a specific TBR coming at you. I recently found out a couple days ago now about the TransRights Readathon hosted by @sims_bookstagram_badly on Instagram, and I decided I'm going to participate. I'm going to pledge and do all of the fun things. I had 2 books on my TBR already that had trans lead characters or trans authors on like a different kind of TBR that kind of landed at the same time frame. So I was like, you know what, I might as well just commit and see what I can do. So for this readathon, it will be running from the 20th to the 27th, but let's keep in mind as well that I believe Queer Weekend Readathon, hosted by Queer Lit on Instagram, is happening the 25th and 26th, so there's just a lot going on, as well as March 31st is Transgender Day of Visibility, Trans Visibility Day. So that is also happening, so I will probably maybe be pushing this week-long readathon until March 31st. One, just give me extra days to make sure that I finish everything, but also just a little bit of buffer to end on like a fun day. So, is that everything? I believe so. I will be personally pledging $5 for every book that I finish that is by a trans author or has a trans lead character. I am only putting 5 on this TBR because as much as I want to read the world, one, she's broke, so I don't want to push my limits and then like budget-wise not be able to actually do that, but also because I have like 2 other TBRs going on this month and I'm still behind on them, so I can't very well like just add 7,000 books, even though trust me I want to. I want to so bad, but I can't. I can't just drop everything and read different books. So we're gonna avoid that. So I'm going to be telling you the 5 books that I'm planning to read during this week, and hopefully by the end I can donate $25. I've chosen to donate to the Trans Health Legal Fund. There we go. I'm going to be donating there. You guys can as well if you want to participate. I will also be leaving a link down below from itch.io. It's a tabletop RPG kind of platform website where you can get PDFs of these really fun, creative, inclusive tabletop RPGs, which if you didn't know, Death to Divinity is like my biggest personality trait right now. They are a live tabletop RPG live show that happens every Saturday, and I'm financially backing because I just love the storytelling. I love the happiness that represents fat and queer lives in this fantasy world. It is beautiful, it is wonderful. They are playing with the Thirsty Sword Lesbians Handbook, which is a part of this package deal that itch.io is providing. So for a minimum of $5, you can get 505 different RPG tabletop PDFs, including Thirsty Sword Lesbian, and it is incredible. It is amazing. I already purchased and donated this morning before filming this because I got super excited. So if you're into Dungeons and Dragons but you might want to step out and try something new, I highly recommend. There are so many amazing games out there that you can play and tell stories with. So yes, highly recommend. Check that out down below. Funds from that are going directly to the trans rights in Florida. So yeah, the world is a scary time. If you're able to donate, I highly recommend that you do. If you're unable to donate, try and read some queer authors, trans authors, non-binary authors. Show your support where you can, because it's scary times out there for a lot of people, and so we just gotta be there where we can. But I also want to shout out over on Instagram the account @readingwithreese. He has dedicated time into this beautiful spreadsheet of over 300 books. I'm sure more will be added by the time this video goes up and by the time the readathon begins. But if you want some ideas of books that you might be able to read and pick up, there's a list. It is so well done. There's different age range categories, so it's separated from middle grade, young adult, adult, and memoirs. There's also the book, the author, the author's pronouns, as well as like the genre and some like notes. So I will also be leaving that linked down below for you to check out if you're struggling to find something that you want to read. There's also the hashtag on Instagram, which is TransRights Readathon. You'll find so many suggestions, so many people that are pledging, and different nonprofits that they're donating to. So I highly recommend go scroll around the Instagram for a little bit. If you're not on Bookstagram, it's a great, happy place to be. I highly recommend it. So let's jump into the 5 books that I'm planning to read. So the first book on my TBR is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. I am sort of nervous about this. I put this on a specific TBR last year and I'm finally getting around to it, and I've seen a lot of reviews come in. Some people really love it and it's like one of their favorite books, and some people didn't love it. I am a little bit nervous. I think there is a spice scene, if I remember correctly, which I'm learning is not my preference. But I am really excited for this nonetheless. I don't know a whole lot about the synopsis. I just have seen it float around so often and so much that I'm like, okay, I need to read this. It is about time that I read this book. Okay, I was gonna read the synopsis and like pitch it to you, but you just need to hear this. Mulan meets The Song of Achilles, an accomplished poetic debut of war and destiny, sweeping across the epic alternate China. I refuse to be nothing. I think that sounds pretty good. I also have, I believe, another story. No, that is the story. I remember I saw that pitched on Instagram when I was looking at just like some suggestions, and somebody pitched She Who Became the Sun as if Disney wrote Mulan transgender, and I said, I'm into it. I love Mulan. I enjoyed Song of Achilles, not as much as everybody else. I thought it was just like, okay. I'm not a really big Greek mythology gal anyway though, but I am excited for this. I think it'll be good. The next book on the TBR that I have is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Same story. This was already on a different TBR from a year ago that I'm getting around to reading. Rebecca Roanhorse is an Indigenous author, and I know that this is also like a hit or miss story for people. I really know how to choose them, right? I have friends that didn't like this a whole lot, and then I know a lot of people who absolutely love it. It does have a 4.21 average rating on Goodreads, which is like pretty good. The first book in the Between Earth and Sky trilogy. I thought this was a duology. Inspired by the civilization of pre-Columbian Americans and woven into the tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. A god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun in the holy city of Tova. The winter solstice is usually a time of celebration and renewal, but this year it coincides with an eclipse, a rare celestial event prescribed by the sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Shiala, is disgraced Teak, whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can wrap a man's mind. A mermaid? The ship carries one passenger described as harmless. A passenger, Serapio, is a young man, blind, scared, and cloaked in destiny. As Cialia well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being the villain. That sounds so good. But like, actually, that sounds really good. That does sound good. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what to expect, but like, I'm into it. I'm very excited for this. Again, I've heard a lot of mixed opinions, so I'm excited to form my own. So this next book that I want to read was kind of like a last second addition. It's a book that I've been wanting to read. I picked this up not too long ago from Pal's bookstore, and I've just been like waiting for the right time. And guess what? That time has arrived. I will be picking up Iron Widow by Sharon J. Zhao. I'm nervously excited. I've heard one person review this say that although it is young adult and it's a little bit cliche, it's fantastic. And that got me very, very excited. The back says, like its ferocious heroine, Iron Widow is brutal, bloodthirsty, and full of rage. Zedian's fight to shatter patriarchal definitions of power makes for a truly thrilling read. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm ready to fight the patriarchy. So I'm ready for this. I think this will fuel my female rage a little bit more that I've been having lately. And then maybe that will calm down a little bit. We'll see. Either way, I'm very excited. So in this like kind of sci-fi fantasy world, we have young boys and young girls paired up to be like co-pilots, but the catch is that typically the boys are stronger than the girls, so they're actually just taking the girls' power or magic or something and just like sucking it up, and they're making themselves stronger pilots. But our lead character is actually stronger than the boy, which doesn't happen, and she ends up taking his strength. And I honestly have no clue where it's going to go from there. I assume that's like going to happen in the first 50 or so pages. And then it's just going to be like a wild ride after, I'm sure. I believe that this is a duology. It's probably a trilogy. I don't actually know. Oh my goodness. I love this picture of them so much. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but they're just hanging out in their little cow onesie, and it's so cute. So yeah, either way, I'm very excited. I'm glad to be reading at least one book on my shelf soon, because oh boy, I'm so bad at that. And the next book that I want to talk about, I'm really, really, really excited for, and it's The Honeys. It's The Honeys by Ryan La Sala, and I'm so excited. This is a... Is it a novella? No, it's certainly not a novella, but it is young adult horror. So I have 2 horror books on this list, and I'm so excited about them. I'm so happy to have forced myself to read some horror right now. I don't know why. Young adult horror is like one of my all-time favorite genres to ever exist, and I'm so excited to be reading this. I have no clue what it's about. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I don't want to know what it's about, but I'm so excited. All I know is that the cover is beautiful and it's so unsuspecting, and I think that's so fun. I love horror books that you're like, but there's flowers. It can't be that spooky, right? And I'm just, it's gonna be so good. I'm really excited. And the final book that I want to talk about to wrap up this video is going to be Hearts Haunt Havoc. This is by Frida's Moon, and I know nothing. This is a novella. It is horror, it is romance, and it is queer. And that's all that I know. I just recently found this. I was looking on Instagram and somebody had a couple KU suggestions, and this was a novella. It's a standalone, and I said, that makes for easy reading. That's an easy $5 right there. So I decided to add it onto my TBR. It's like 150-ish pages. Again, it's on Kindle Unlimited, which I now have. So I'm going to be using my good graces to be reading off my Kindle, hopefully. We'll see. I don't know what this is about, truly, because it's so short and it's horror. I don't really want to have an idea. All that I do know is that we are following our main character who's transgender, and they are a Catholic exorcist, and they're going into a spooky haunted house that doesn't like them. I think that's all I know. Is that wrong? Potentially, but either way, I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be a good time. There's something about like horror romance that just like really excites me. So that's gonna be the TBR. That's what I'm planning to read. Those are the 5 books that I'm gonna push myself to read in hopes to donate $25 by the end of the month. I really hope that you are able to participate. Any support is still support where you can. It helps. So if you want, there's a bunch of links down in the description below. Explore. Go out, find other people's TBRs. There's a lot of people that are doing this over on Book Talk, so if you're on TikTok, maybe go check it out there and see all the people who are pledging. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video Tuesday. So I'll see you guys then. Bye!